All right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Start 'em Bet 'em Fantasy Football Podcast, where fantasy meets gambling. I'm your host, Brendan Shelly. I got my man Dan Ambrose here. Dan Ambrose, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right. A little disappointed in what I just watched out of the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff there, not going for two at the end. That'll never make any sense to me. Like, why you would play for overtime whenever you're 8 feet away from potentially taking the lead.
It was crazy. We talked a little bit about this.
Sense.
Even Kirk Herbstreit was like, oh, they have all the momentum in the world. You want to take this to overtime. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Why don't you just drive it home, bro? Yeah, just drive it home.
You have that defense on their heels and stuff like that. And I don't know. The concept is just crazy.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Not crazy is my 1-0 retiring for life prop bet I did last week when I had the over for my boy Tyrod Taylor and passing.
Yep.
Got it for me in the fourth quarter there. So
I
will take my 100% win record and call it a year.
Well, at
least till the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a good move because some of these bets that I've been making have not gone well. So tonight would be one of them. We put 4 wagers down. We kept the train going, and betting against people I think are overrated, and Cooper Kupp's one of them this year. And it did exactly as I expected it to do. We bet under 40.5 yards receiving. His total for the game was 26, so that was an easy win. What was not an easy win was just that game in general. There was not really a running situation for the Cardinals. Unfortunately, it looked like it was working okay when they gave the ball to Benson and when they gave the ball to DeMarcado. They just didn't produce for us. So... And then obviously, if you did watch Torrey Horton, we thought he had that catch and won us some money. They got that called back. That was cool. So a lot of fun that game. I got to be miserable for a good part of it. I thought overtime was coming too. Dan and I were both pretty excited. Dan obviously bet the Cardinals. I bet those props. This was my chance to keep those babies alive and get some wins out of it. Didn't happen. At one point in the game, Kenneth Walker had 29 yards receiving. He opened that up with the second play of the game. He broke off for a 29-yard reception. Really nice play by the Seattle Seahawks. I bet him getting one more reception. That's it. And he dropped it. I don't know if you remember it, but midfield, right in his hands, turns around to see what's going on. The ball comes right out. So that was my 1 yard. I needed him to get over 29.5 yards. He was sitting at 29, and he dropped it. To make things more fun, I did hit a win for one of my in-game wagers. I bet DeMarcado over 3.5 yards receiving. I put that bet down in the third quarter. If you watched the game, Murray wasn't looking anywhere except for a 5-yard radius every time he had the ball all the way till the last 3 minutes of the game. That bet was just made so much sense to me. I should have yelled it off the rooftops. I just figured DeMarcado is going to be in. They're playing, the game scripts has them playing from behind, third down, back in. They're going to be checking the ball down. They did. So we got a little something. Overall, we lost about 0.8 units on the game. Wasn't the end of the world, but it wasn't the best. Thanks for following me if you did. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we do better this weekend. There's a lot to talk about, Dan.
Did I miss this in the Arizona game? Did Marvin Harrison like tear up after he scored a touchdown?
He got down on the ground and thanked everybody that he praised. Yeah, it was one of those big moments, like, you know what I mean, where he got down and did his big old kneel down. I don't know, man. It was nice to see that. I got a lot of shares of Marvin Harrison Jr. in Dynasty football. I aggressively pursued him.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's too good to be playing like it is. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a Kyler guy.
Yes, that is the problem. And I saw this guy on Twitter, Ambrose 04, that put up a nice post. Dan, you want to read your post for everybody? I liked it.
I remember that. I think I said I was over it.
Yep.
I wanted
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah,
exactly. You said, let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. I didn't hate that. I liked that, actually, because what Murray was doing those first, I don't know, pretty much all the way up till 2 minutes of the game, it was trash. He absolutely played like shit. So, yeah, we got a lot to go over here. So let's start getting through these injuries. There's a lot of injuries last weekend, and I think it's best to start with that. Yeah, so a lot to talk about, Dan. Some major injuries. We talked about James Conner. That one really sucked, and you saw the impact of it tonight. He is by far the key to their offense, and holy shit, they did not look good. So there's a couple that talk about the big ones more than anything. Obviously, Brock Purdy's still out. Might not play. He's not going to play this weekend. Dan thinks there's a small percentage chance he does. It'll be good to see him back on the field because I think Mac Jones even tweaked his knee. So that's going to be interesting to watch that game. He's saying he's going to play, but he was not participating in practice fully. Mike
Well,
Evans.
they got UFL MVP Adrian Martinez, so
That's right. Former Jets phenom, preseason standout, right? Yeah, yep.
I mean, he's probably good if they let him go.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they're not good talent evaluators of quarterback positions in New York.
That is correct.
Mike Evans, the perennial 1,000 yards guy, he's probably not going to hit it this year, pending a miracle. He's going to be out for multiple weeks. They're saying 4 to 6. Who knows? It's a shame. Everybody that likes the NFL likes Mike Evans. Jaden Daniels, he's questionable as well this week. I don't know if he'll be playing. On top of it, we have Carson Wentz will still be playing. J.J. McCarthy's still out multiple weeks. Wentz filled in nicely last week. We actually bet some props this week on the Vikings, knowing that Wentz will be there. You got anything else to add? I'm sure there's some shit we're missing.
No, I think you hit the key ones. I think the Washington one will be interesting, especially since they won last week. Like, do they need to bring them back, or is another week off okay for them?
It's going to be an interesting game. It sucks to see big guys go out and its impact on the game. Like last week we saw with Cincinnati, a major drop-off. I'm not a big T. Higgins guy, but I love his talent. And we saw Jake Browning is not going to be able to sustain fantasy players this year like he did a few years ago. I'm curious to see how that pans out, and I feel for the team there. Let's get into these games this weekend. I want to hear what you're betting, and then we can tack on some additional fantasy stuff and also some nice little prop bets, and hopefully we hit.
I'm actually on quite a few games this week. I didn't really realize it until we got on this call. All right, so the first game that I am betting this week, I am taking the Carolina Panthers at plus 5.5 over the New England Patriots. I hate it. I don't I don't like betting on Bryce Young. I got this game at a pick'em. It should be neither team should be favored.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the 5.5. I think New England can win this game, should win this game, but hopefully it's only by 3 or 4 points.
You know what? I hope so too for you. We got a couple props on this. Ted McMillan, the rookie wide receiver, Bryce Young, security blanket at this point. He's out. He's going to miss a couple weeks. Jalen.
So hold on.
Yep.
Before you go any further with that, there is not one person on the Panthers being out that makes a difference for anything going on with this team.
My God, here you are.
They are not.
I thought you were going to say something where like you're wrong. He's healthy. I'm trying to check my injury report here. He's out.
Yeah. No. Yes, he probably is. But there is not one injury on the Panthers where it's going to affect this game at all.
Obviously, you've bet them, so you're confident in the Panthers covering. But
I don't care who they put out there. They're putting. There's going to be 22 guys that are starting, right?
Yeah.
So I guess plus 5.5, regardless what that combination looks like.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because they're really short wide receiver positions right now. Obviously, everybody remembers they traded Adam Thielen to the Vikings. They're really hurting right now. I mean, they had Xavier Legette. He's not living up to any hype. He is pretty bad. And you have Legette, and then you have also the Ted McMillan. They're both out. Jalen Coker, I think, is still out. I need to look at the injury report, see if he's coming back. But if Coker's back, he's their de facto wide receiver 1. I don't really know who the hell they have to throw to there. We are going to hammer Travion Henderson in honor of our boy Mike Florio that was gracious enough to do a show with me and Dan. There's 2 separate bets here, and I'm going to do both, Dan. This is a dumb bet, so follow me if you will. Don't follow me. We're going to take the safe one, and we're going to take the aggressive one, just in honor of our boy Mike Florio. So Travion Henderson, we're going to do over 65.5 total rushing and receiving yards. I love that bet. We're going to put a couple units on. I might even do 2 units on that bet. All right, feeling risky.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now, let's go crazy. I'm going to put a half unit on Travion Henderson over 100 yards rushing and receiving at plus 360. So, I mean, come on. I mean, that is about as lock as they get. Plus 360. So, I mean, what that means for everybody that's paying attention here, if you bet $10, you make $36. So, pretty damn good value there. We're going to do that. We're going to chase Mike Florio's obsession over Travion Henderson. We're going to follow him on this one because those fumbling idiots, Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, for some reason, he was on the field. Hopefully, Vrabel has the same mindset that Belichick had, and if you fumble his football, you're on the bench. All right, I want these guys. This is Travion Henderson's week. This is what it takes. Not injuries, not opportunity, fumbles. That's what's going to get Henderson on the field, and that's what hopefully gets him locked into this position. So,
why do you think that Hunter Henry's not getting any love? on these prop bets because I got him at 39.5 over in yardage.
Let's take it. Every
time I watch them play, it's like the guy, that's who he wants to go to.
Oh, yeah. That's his number one target by far. Remember, we bet Hunter Henry. He's made us money. I think we bet him almost every week. He screwed us one weekend. He did not go over. He had a rough week the one week, and that was the week that we hit him the hardest. Remember, I said this looks like the trappiest bet of all time, and it was.
Right. Well, if you're interested in betting him, I would go to the sports book that is year-round in the name.
Okay, got you.
Because they have the best one at 39.5. Everybody else is at 41.5.
Let's do it.
All
right, we're going to bet the Hunter Henry over 39.5. I'll do my other half unit on that. All right, just because. I agree. I love that bet the other week, and I went really big on him. I think I did like 2.5 units. So
you just don't like that they're playing the Carolina defense, or what?
No, they're going to destroy them. I just don't. I don't know how I feel about
it. Yeah. I mean, the other thing you kind of brought it up. The Patriots should have won last week.
They definitely should.
Like I was on the Steelers too, so I was very happy about all the fumbling and turnover stuff. But I don't know. We'll see if the Patriots continue to turn the ball over or not. But if they do, then it should be fine for the Panthers. The Panthers look good against Atlanta. Penix kind of looked like I thought he would have the beginning of the season, or like the first 2 weeks. But we'll see. Maybe it was just the first road game outdoors. And speaking of the Falcons, I am on Atlanta. I got them at +2.5. I think it's down to 1 maybe, +1. I haven't projected it. Atlanta should win by 2. Some value there. I know you took a bet in this game.
Putting my money back on Drake London. He's not playing what everybody thought he'd be doing, and I think a large reason for that is Michael Penix and his accuracy. I think this week, they get it together. I think they work hard this week, and they just force feed the ball to Drake London. If they want to get the passing game going, he's the key to it. So I think they force feed Drake London. I bet over 65.5 yards receiving. The Commanders are coming in as the 23rd ranked defense against passing attacks. They average 229 yards per game. Majority of those are coming up to the number one wide receivers. I'm hoping that trend continues. Drake London wins one-on-one. He can easily. He's a hell of a route runner. He's just a physical dude. Over 65.5 yards is not a bad bet. We're going to do that. We'll sprinkle a little something there. We're not going to go crazy, but I do like that bet.
I hope you're right. I think if he does, then there's probably a good chance the Falcons' offense looks much better than it did last week. I'm just a little worried. If Jaden Daniels plays, my bet's probably in trouble. I don't know. I just don't trust the Falcons, but I just bet the numbers, so I don't. It's no looking back now as far as the +2.5 goes. All right. So the next bet I'm on is this Browns-Lions game. So Lions at home. I took it at -10, like almost 10 days ago, before even last week's games. I was trying to get ahead of it. I thought I did great, and then it dropped to 8.5, and now it's back up to 10. So I guess I got it where the market's at now, but I could have had it lower. I like the Lions at home -10. I think the Lions look good. The Ravens-Lions game, a big game when it comes to what kind of Lions team are we going to see, because they look good against the Bears, but anybody looks good against the Bears except Dallas. So.
Yes. And you just tied in multiple prop bets. I want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to. I'm going to start with those Browns bets. We actually did make some on the Browns. Because I can see the game script from them playing from behind. One of the things I was looking for, I can't find. Quinshon Judkins, the rookie running back who's clearly taken a foothold of that running back position. I can't find any receptions bets. I can't find any receiving yards bets. Dan and I both looked at every book. If you guys do see any, please message me them. I will probably follow you on them if I can get on those apps. But the one that I could find that I like, and I see some pretty good value here, is Cedric Tillman, the wide receiver. He's the number 3 wide receiver on their team, I believe. But he is on the field a lot. He gets on there a lot with Jerry Jeudy. Joe Flacco looks his way. He's targeted, I think, 2 times more than Jeudy. He's running more routes. He's more successful on his routes. So I like Cedric Tillman. I have him at over 3.5 catches at +115. I think it's good value there. Like I said, Flacco tends to target him. He also goes after David Njoku. But David Njoku burned us by a half yard. I'll never bet him again this season, you bastard. So I got burned on that half yard by Njoku. I'm not going to bet him again this game just because he's going to make me miserable again. But we did go Cedric Tillman.
Next game, I am on the Tennessee Titans at +7 versus the Houston Texans. Again, I got Texans should be favored. I have projected at -4. So getting some value there, extra 3 points. Not impressed with the way Stroud's been looking. Not really sure what's going on either, because that team should be better than what they are.
Yeah, I don't think so though. Remember, I was
I
not
know.
high on them in the preseason too. I'm not high on
I get
CJ
you.
Stroud. He phenomenal rookie season, but people figured him out. I think people just figured out Stroud. I think they figured out their philosophy. I like D'Amico Ryans. I think him trading away like Larry Tunzel and all those offensive linemen. Obviously, there was something going on in that locker room. I think some things are still lingering because you don't trade away somebody for a bag of peanuts and your offensive line is the way it is. CJ Stroud's getting blown up. So whatever
Right.
they thought they did to help him, they hurt him. I don't like that team. I don't like what they're doing. They have too many wide receivers. I don't know who to bet on. That's pretty much why I don't like them. Sure, it could work out. Could be like the Packers. And, you know, you got 6 or 7 guys, 1 or 2 catches a game. That's it. But for me, that's too, from a fantasy standpoint and from a prop standpoint, is not advantageous for us.
Looking at my like season predictions that I did back in like June,
Yeah.
when the schedules and stuff came out, I actually have the Texans right where they are, 0-3. So I had them starting 0-3, winning against this week against Tennessee, and then losing the next 3 after that. So
here we go, everybody. Yeah. This is when it starts. Yep. So
right.
I don't want to touch that game. I'm just not happy with the way either teams look. I'm not going near there. Maybe Calvin Ridley, but I'm not touching that.
The next game I'm on is Bears-Raiders game. Another one of those games where I tried to predict the future 10 days in advance. I bet the Raiders at -2 and swung and missed on that one. So they're at -1 right now. Not terrible, but I do like the Raiders at home this week.
Okay.
Even though they looked terrible last week. But
I don't. I think the Bears, hopefully this gave that little shot of Novocaine that Caleb Williams needs to kind of get him numb and start throwing the ball well.
Oh, you think
through his motions.
You think they've got it figured out, huh?
This is when our bets start hitting, Dan Ambrose. This is what's going to happen. We bet a couple bets in this game. There's 2 different options. I want to ask you, Mr. Ambrose, what is the best play for you? You want to be the safe play and take the layup, or are we going for that 3 for the win? We got Bears, Raiders game. We're going Rome Odunze. Here's the options. You go over 63.5 yards at regular VIG, or we can go over 75 yards at +130.
Yeah, I'm going to go 63.5.
Okay.
As I mentioned, I think you're going to be disappointed by what you see.
Okay, so I will do that. We'll do 63.5. So we're going to go Rome Odunze over 63.5 yards receiving. I like that bet a lot. I think he's been averaging 71 a game. In addition, he is pretty much the main man that Caleb Williams is looking at every play. And the other bet that we did in this game, I like Ashton Genty. I have not bet on him that much this season, but I like his over 2.5 catches. I know you disagree, but the Raiders need to make him a focal point of their offense, and they might make him a bigger part if they're playing from behind. So Genty,
there's nothing big about Genty.
Yeah, just watch for him.
He looks very small out there.
He does, but not in the flat. He's going to catch some balls and run around a little bit. So they're going to try to get him the ball in situations to make his explosiveness come out. And I can foresee that happening with some screens. And that's what's going to get us going there. So Genty, over 2.5 catches. That's probably one of my best bets of this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully he has 50 of them.
There you go. All right, keep it coming. Your next game.
Then I guess pretty much the last game that I'm on that we haven't talked about is Green Bay Packers going to Dallas. I'm going to be crazy. I'm going to go take Dallas at +7. Line is down to 6.5, but I'm not loving this either with CD out. Like, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I do what the numbers say to do.
Okay, and I'm doing what the numbers say to do, and that's to bet against that Dallas secondary. They are so bad. And we have another fun situation, Dan. You want to go for the easy win? Or you want to go push it? And I think this game we push it because we got Jordan Love over 232.5 yards passing. Pretty easy, right? I think that's a lock. Now, Jordan Love over 250 yards at +115. We cranking that up for that extra 18 yards or what?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I do too.
That's, Caleb Williams destroyed him.
Russell Wilson, 500 yards almost.
450 yards on him. Like,
where's Russell Wilson this week, by the way?
Yeah,
we didn't talk about that yet.
Yeah, he's sitting next to, well, I shouldn't say this because that's not fair to him, but it's, essentially him and Justin Fields are on the sidelines this weekend.
Justin Fields on for injury. We're well aware of that, but I really, I'm blown away by this. Brian Dabble, what a power move. I mean, the man wants to keep his job. Benched Russell Wilson. He threw a couple balls out of the back of the end zone last weekend. Looked pretty shitty when they were behind. Really bad. Dumb decisions.
Yeah.
And it got his ass sat. Russ still thinks he's got some in the tank. We'll see what happens. I mean, if this Brock Purdy stuff continues, we want him going to San Fran to salvage that, or what?
No, I want my city of New York under 4.5 wins to come through this year. I don't think that either football team combined will get to 5 wins.
Okay, I can't argue that at this rate. I got a few more prop bets, but that Jordan Love bet, I like that one a lot. I think that's a pretty fun bet and one that makes sense against that Dallas secondary. They were very bad.
Did you see the clip from the Packers-Browns games last week with their rookie, what's his name, that they just got?
Matthew Golden?
Out of Texas. Yeah. Did you see that where he caught the ball and then like ran out of bounds, but then they like panned out from behind and like all he had was open field?
Yep. I did see that. It didn't make any sense to me. That's just such a rookie mistake. It's unbelievable.
Someone told me like there's too much momentum. Like maybe I go, it's possible that was it, but like at the same time, like I feel like you weren't even looking to turn it up field, and had you just tried, you'd still be running.
You'd see a lot of stuff like I think it's just immaturity, not thinking of the bigger picture. Like I saw it with Amari Hampton a couple weeks ago. Luckily, the Chargers did enough to win that game, but he ran out of bounds when they were trying to run the clock out. It confused the shit out of me. I'm like, what is he doing? He must screwed them there. I mean, it's insane. And we're going to see a lot of Amari Hampton this weekend because the Pirate, he's out for the season. He tore his Achilles. He's out. Pretty sad. Najee Harris. I talked about this early on, but Amari Hampton, this helps our season-long bet. Remember, we bet Amari Hampton over, I think, 750 yards or something like that. That's looking really good now because he has no clear competition there without Najee Harris. You got Hassan Hawkins and a few other Kimani Vidal, like random ass names. He sounds like Street Fighter names, like guys you pick in picking your fighter. You know what I mean? Like Kimani Vidal. Like it's like, what the fuck is happening right now? So that's the guys that are on that team. That's the guys that you're expecting to pick up the slack. It's not going to happen. It's going to be the Amari Hampton show. Let's get to our next bet. It's a really big subject, actually. Some major news in the NFL happened. Brian Daboll wants to save his job, so he benched Russ Wilson, the man that threw 5 touchdowns just 2 weeks ago. 1 week removed from 5 touchdowns, is told he's on the bench. So pretty impressive. I mean, if
not even threw for 5 touchdowns. He threw for 450 yards.
Yeah. It was in a division rival game too. So it was funny. We were talking the week before saying Russ is done. He's cooked. In comes Dart. Daboll's going to save his job. He doesn't give a shit about Russ Wilson. Then we were apologizing. We had a little apology tour. Well, Russ Wilson threw 450. I didn't see that coming. Sorry. And next week, it's back to Jackson Dart. Yes, yep. Russ is throwing the ball 10 yards out of the end zone. Like, it was like, what is happening, dude?
I had the Chiefs -6 in that game, and I was so uncomfortable because there was no reason the Giants shouldn't have scored there at the end. And
oh, yeah, there was. It was Russ Wilson was the reason.
But then, he did not want anything to do with that. Throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone on 4th down. It's a pretty wild decision.
I saw an interesting take, and I'm sorry I can't cite who it was, but it might have even been on the radio, a local station. But they were adamant that Russ Wilson, he didn't want to ruin his like career numbers. You know, what I mean, throwing a pick there because he had to force the ball in. It's either you want to win the game and force the ball in there, or you want to take a safe play and just lose the game. To me, there's no reason why you throw out the back of the end zone. You force the ball in there, you get an interception because it's that or the game. And he decided, I'd rather have my stats looking better and just lose this game. That's what he did. It was a bizarre way to end the game.
I don't want to just shit on Wilson all episode.
True.
But he may be the only guy, if he ever does go to the Hall of Fame, that no one shows up for him. He's kind of well, yeah. I mean, he's just kind of built that reputation, and it sounds like throughout the league. Some of those stories out of Denver were crazy.
Oh, every time I read anything about him, I'm like, what is happening? And honestly, Carson Wentz is kind of the same shit. Carson Wentz, we got to bet on him, so we're going to talk about that.
Well, I'll tell you what about him, though. We don't have to worry about him going to the Hall of Fame. So
no, we don't have to worry about that at all. Correct. But what ruined it was that knee, that injury where he went in for the touchdown, the rushing touchdown, ripped his knee apart. And then they called it back, and he threw the touchdown. Then he was out for the rest of the season. That's when Nick Foles came in and won us a Super Bowl. 2017. He was on trajectory to be the MVP. Everything that I've heard since then is that he came back, earned the position back. At least Nick Foles gave it back to him out of respect, and he just couldn't keep it. All the fans wanted to see Foles. Wentz got in his own head. Wentz was making shitty comments to the media. A lot of issues.
Well, he's got a shot now.
Yeah.
I don't think
JJ McCarthy.
I don't think we're seeing JJ again.
Okay, that's a bold prediction. Let's mark this in the video right here. I marked it again.
What is exactly wrong with JJ? Was it concussion? Or was it something else?
No, it was his knee, right? It was a knee
Was
problem.
his knee?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that gives him a couple weeks to heal, right?
Yeah.
But if the Vikings don't lose or the Vikings look better, JJ's not coming back.
Yeah. So let's stick with the Giants game here first. I did do one prop bet. They're playing the Chargers. Everybody knows I love the Chargers. I'm a big Chargers fan. I have them going to the Super Bowl versus my Eagles. I like to see that continue. We have a couple prop bets in this game. The one of which is we have Wan'Dale Robinson over 4.5 catches at -105. Not horrible odds. I like the over 4.5 catches. Wan'Dale Robinson is a PPR machine, and he's made me so much money in prop land. He constantly just gets his 4 or 5 catches a game, consistent as hell. And I know Dabble's going to script some plays to get Jackson Dart comfortable before he starts going downfield to Malik Neighbors. And I think Wan'Dale Robinson will be the recipient of that. So I can see him coming up big underneath, getting Jackson Dart in a groove, and then they're going to start picking apart bits and pieces of this Chargers team. They have a really good defense, so I can't see him doing too much. That's why I still think that the open man this game is going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. I think it's a pretty safe bet, and I'm going to roll with that. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I was disappointed in myself. I should have just pulled the trigger. I didn't do it. I was seeing if the line would go down. I don't know why I thought it would, but I could have got this game at Chargers -3.5.
Oh,
it's up to 6.5.
I bet it is.
After they announced Dart, which was I thought that was kind of weird too. After they announced that Dart was playing, then the line jumped. I didn't know if it was Russell Wilson was worth 3 points, but I mean, I get it at the same time, but I just think the Chargers are going to roll them.
I don't blame Dabble. I really don't. I think, for one, this might save his job because he put in the rookie that everybody wants to see. And people are going to say, well, it's Dart. He's a rookie if he sucks. And if he does well, people are going to say, Dabble, you're brilliant.
Yeah. If Dart plays bad, then he was getting fired anyways.
Yep.
I don't know how these coaches evaluate that sometimes or what they think. But I do love betting against rookie quarterbacks in their first game.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think the Chargers run over him this game too. If Dart does well, good for them. I just can't see this happening. It's a horrible game to start out with. Good luck going against the Chargers. We got a few more prop bets sprinkled around. I don't think you have any action on the games, but I'll go through them quickly. I like the Bucks-Birds games. That's going to be fun. The Eagles, Buccaneers. Obviously, I biased. I think the Eagles, they barely pull out a win here. I'd like this Buccaneers team. They are determined. They're playing well. Baker Mayfield.
I'm worried with Evans out.
Yeah,
I'm worried with Evans out
that
they're not going to be able to do much. Like, I mean, I know everybody loves this Baker story, right?
Yeah. Well, Emeka Ibuka too. Everybody loves Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah. No, he's pretty good. Yeah, I'll give you that. So, I mean, maybe there's some chance there, but they're going to need some big play out of him and Bucky as well.
For sure.
To have a shot.
And we didn't bet either of those because I didn't like the value on either. So we're going for the obscure one, which is our man Rachaad White over 6.5 yards receiving. Or we can get really aggressive and go Rachaad White 1.5 receptions at +125.
No,
I think
ahead.
the safe bet.
I want to hear your spot. No, I want to hear your spot.
I like the 6.5 yards. I'm going to go with that. That was the first one that called out to me. That's one catch for Rachaad White. He's good at bouncing off some tackles and getting out there. I think they do that. I think with the lack of, you're going to have guys like K-Dot and you're going to have Bucky Irving, you're going to have Rachaad White that need to step up and make some catches to make this game.
And I guess, like you were saying earlier too, before we got on here, he's a third down back, right? You're going to get a lot of opportunities with him out on the field.
It's pretty good value in that because if you feel more aggressive, you think he's going to get 2 catches that game, which is very, very plausible. I think he gets about 3 or 4 or 5 targets a game. You're going over 1.5 catches at +125. That's not bad value. But we're going to stay with the smart one, 6.5 yards. We have one more prop bet, and you guys can go through the rest of the games you want. Message us. We can talk about them. I'll be putting up my Monday night and bets later on. We have 2 Monday night games this week again, so very exciting. You'll see that up on my X. What we're going to be doing was our boy Carson Wentz. We talked about him a little bit earlier. They are playing in Dublin. All right, they're playing in Ireland. The Rooneys kind of are a big staple in Ireland. There's a lot of Steelers fans in Ireland, so I think this is going to be a Steelers home game essentially. A lot of energy. Aaron Rodgers is going to play well on the big stage, in my opinion. I see Steelers winning this, and I also see that Carson Wentz will be running for his life. So we're going to bet Carson Wentz over 7.5 rushing yards. He has an opportunity to Dublin that number.
All right. I will say this, and only reason I'm going to say is because every game I feel like I watch that happens in Ireland, whether it's pro football, soccer, or college football, because it just happened a couple weeks ago, it loves the rain over there.
It does.
Be careful. I'm looking at it right now. It says right now 7% chance of rain. I don't believe that. I think it's backwards over there. So I think that means 93%. So we'll see.
Yep. It's just like they're not using Fahrenheit, they're Celsius. So maybe their metrics are wrong, you know? Yep. Yeah, we're the only country that knows what we're doing. Come on, man. Kilometers, get out of here. You know, get out of here with that shit. We're going to make up this random thing called a mile. All right. Yeah. Even weirder, get your goddamn metric system out of here. Just stay out of our house. We're going to do Fahrenheit, you know? So the big takeaway here is I really like Carson Wentz running for his life. I think that's going to be a good bet. Even if it rains, it's better for my bet too. Quarterbacks tend to run a little bit more in the rain. You get some defenders slipping and sliding, and then they start running. Also, receivers might not get open as easy. Wentz might be running. I like that bet. I think Aaron Jones is still out as well. So you got Jordan Mason, who played really well. I can see Wentz, doing a play action. That's the way they get him settled in. Try to get Mason to go to the right side. Wentz can do a little rollout and run the left side, get some yards. I can see easily getting 5 to 10 yards a clip right there. So 2-3 rushes, we got that 7.5. I feel very good about it. Yeah. So a lot of action. We have one more too. I forgot this one. Holy shit. A mess today, Dan Ambrose. We have one on this horrible game that's going to be an absolute blowout. Buffalo Bills versus the New Orleans Saints. We're betting Mr. Dalton Kincaid. We're riding our cash cow. He's made us money pretty much every week. Still not getting any love from the books. Kincaid is over 34.5 yards. I don't know why. Everybody that's watched the Bills games, he's suddenly stepped up and become our man Josh Allen's main guy. It's obvious. He's looking at him. First two drives going to guess our Kincaid numbers. Pretty confident in that. It's 2 catches. That's all I need. That's kind of all I got, Mr. Ambrose. What do you got for me? Heard them all here. I even made some on the fly as we were discussing it. If you guys see any action on Quinshon Judkins receiving, please message me on X. I getting a few random messages from you people. Thank you for listening. Keep sending us that love. If you want to send us hate mail too, that works too. We're interested in hearing it. So why not? Send it our way. All right. So anything you can think of. Sponsors, please hit us up. We're looking to have you guys on the show. Wink, wink. You're right. I'm a mess. All right. See you. Good night, everybody. It's freaking 1 o'clock in the morning here. So I'll talk to you all. Have a wonderful night. I got about 5 hours of editing to do after this shit. Hope you enjoy it. I really hope you enjoy the end product. All right. Thank you.
Yo, my raps volted, here my memory banks, they never be released. Box cutters out of Apple, you're in for a treat. Paper